The four most important skills people need to succeed in college and everyday life are time management, self sufficiency, keeping our emotional hygiene healthy, and our work ethic. Knowing how to maintain our time in college and in our everyday life will only make us go a long way and will have us being very successful. People need to know how to use their time wisely. When you go to college, it is a lot of work, plus there are other things in life, so we have to know how to handle everything. You have to show up to class, you have a lot of homework, and most importantly, you have to study for a lot of quizzes and tests. Many people say a typical 3-unit college class, you need to put 3 hours a week for the class. People need to put time away for the class just to read the material and be caught up with the class. If people are taking 4 classes, it can be a little overwhelming finding the time to stay up with everything. So knowing how to split your time up so you can be on top of everything and not fall behind will get you very successful. This will cause good grades and will only make people slide through college because no one wants to waste their time and retake the class if they fall behind. It is a little overwhelming to do, but simple. Stay on top of your classes so you could be an successful student and expect good results. If you are a student who half-asses college, this will only cause bad grades and will make it harder. Not to mention, retaking a class is not fun. In my opinion, if you want to be successful, to make time every day, even if it is only 30 minutes. Focus on however many classes you can handle a day and just keep yourself caught up with the material. You can even focus on 1 class a day and the next day the other class and so on and so on. Pace yourself to make sure you know how much you can handle. One thing that helps me is to give myself a lot of breaks so I do not stress out myself so much. Because if we stress out too much, it does our body no good. I highly recommend making time for yourself. All of us have a different way of doing that, but giving us time to relax. I like to focus on 2 classes a day and then the next day focusing on the other 2 classes. Then the following day relaxing and taking the time to just be calm and relax. Then I go back to the same routine, making sure I'm caught up with everything and that I know the material. So if we can get ourselves to know how to juggle our time and to know how to juggle our time in college, it will only help us in our everyday life and will only make us successful. Another skill people need to succeed in life and in college is emotional hygiene. Kevin believes emotional hygiene plays a major role in our health. And as we've learned in our English class, emotions can really impact our life, especially when there are feelings such as failure, rejection, and loneliness. Dr. Guy Winch is a well-known psychologist who believes people need to focus on their emotions rather than our physical injuries. Emotional hygiene is a balance between your mental and physical health. Mental health is important in every stage in life, from childhood to adulthood. This gives us different emotions and reactions towards things around us, such as the way we think, the way we feel, the way we act, the choices we make, and how to deal with stress. By having emotional hygiene, you need to have a balance between your mental and physical health. You can't just focus on one. Feeling hopeless and helpless, maybe forgotten or upset, are signs that you have to be aware about your mental health. Having good mentors, such as professors, counselors, and a family member you can look up to, can guide you towards the right path. Physical health is not just about physically looking good, but your well-being. Getting your exercises, eating well, maintaining a good diet, and practicing good habits will help you maintain a happy life. For example, being overweight can make you depressed because of how you begin to look at yourself. It will also make you unfocused in school, and you will stop taking school seriously. You will bring more motivation down, and you will focus more on depression. By working out, you can avoid all the negative things you can say about yourself. You will be able to release stress and become more focused in work and school. You will also improve your memory. You will also get more self-confidence. I can relate to this because when I work out, I release myself from work and school stress. I am only focusing on improving my physical fitness.
Another skill you need in college is self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is learning to live and survive on your own. Students up until college are used to living with a parent and or guardian. As one starts living the life of a college student, whether they dorm or whether they do not dorm, he or she has to learn to be more independent and learn to live on their own. For instance, paying your own gas, paying for your own groceries, and doing your own laundry. You can't rely on your parents to be doing those things for you anymore. No one will remind you to do your homework or even remind you to go to school. Everything has to be done by the student's alone will. We can see many examples of this in our class, inside and out of it. Classes are chosen by the students in college. The student gets to pick which days he or she wants to go and what time of the day he or she wants to go. It is also the student's decision whether or not he or she wants to stay or skip that day. The students get help choosing their classes from their friend, family, or even their school counselors. But in the end, it is the student's decision whether or not which classes they want to choose. College students have a lot of free will since they are also considered adults. So the student has to have a strong will to be able to be focused in class and be consistent with their work. Students also have to understand the academic and social structure set by the school to follow the given guidelines and rules so they know what path they want to take in the future. Unlike high school, where the parent and or guardian is strictly a part of the student's education, if you make a mistake in college, no parent or guardian will be notified because everything that you do is now your own issue. This way, the student learns to be responsible by him and or herself and not to rely on anybody else other than themselves. For the ones that dorm, self-sufficiency is very crucial as a college student. Many students that dorm realize how insufficient their living style is while living by themselves. Students must learn to sustain a good lifestyle and value. Since students no longer have the privilege of living with their parents, they tend to get wild and carefree on themselves and not realize what they can do that can hurt someone else or even themselves. This is why students need to be self-sufficient, to adapt themselves to the given surrounding. Before going into a dorm, students should learn how to do their own laundry and how to cook for themselves. Instead of surviving on nothing but top ramens, cup noodles, students should try to maintain a healthy diet so they don't have to be a part of the percentage that they call the freshman 15. But if you tend to be living on top ramen, it's more than likely going to be a freshman 30. Being self-sufficient is a key skill to be successful in college. With applying time management, emotional hygiene, and self-sufficiency, you must also be able to maintain an effective work ethic. A work ethic that is going to be able to benefit you in every situation. The definition of a good work ethic is the principle that hard work is intrinsically virtuous or worthy of a reward. This definition of work ethic is stating if you work hard, you will be rewarded. For example, if a man or woman is working 24 hours, 7 days a week, they are highly and more likely to be receiving a promotion in the future. There is an endless number of examples that show a person with good work ethic, which include being honest, because if you are honest, you are more likely to gain someone's trust. Having a good and positive attitude, because if you carry yourself poorly, it not only shows who you are as a person, but it shows that you do not have a high self-esteem. And if you have a good attitude, it shows that you are confident in not only yourself, but everything that you do as well. For example, if there are two people at an interview and one person has a higher self-esteem and carries themselves well, and there is another person that has a low self-esteem that carries themselves poorly, the person with the higher self-esteem is more likely to be receiving the job. I can use a great work ethic in the real world in absolutely everything that I do, whether it is me being at a job interview, when I am applying for a new job, so that I have a good work ethic and I explain to them my work ethic, at home if I have to pick up after somebody around the house, or even at school when I have to attend class on time and be on top of all of my homework so that I am not turning in any late work. With an effective work ethic, you should be able to pass any class or accomplish any goal that you have in that matter. If you have a great work ethic, it not only shows who you are, but your character and who your parents are and how you were raised as a child. Because not only you carry your work ethic over the years, but it also shows your parents' work ethic as well.
These are the 4 most important skills to succeed not only in life, but in college. Thank you for taking the time to listen.